Their reaction shortly after the president's announcement he was taking the public protector's report on the Busasa campaign donation. Our reporter Palesa Moeti is outside the University of the Free State and she joins us now live. Palesa, what's the latest on the ground? What sort of reaction are you getting, not only from this recent judgment handed down by the Constitutional Court, but also yesterday President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that he will take this on judicial review. What's the latest?
Well, we are right on the main campus of the University of the Free State here in Bloemfontein, and I must say it's been difficult to get a hold of students that actually hold a view and understand what is going on, between the president and the public protector, and also that are also interested in current affairs. But we've luckily been able to get a few students, and they are joining us right now. Asive, thank you very much for talking to us. Let's just go back a little bit before we talk about the Constitutional Court ruling of this morning. Just the squabble between the president and the public protector. What's your take on that?
I don't think it's necessarily a squabble. I think it is the test of our democracy and the test of our constitution. So you'll understand that the public protector, the Chapter 9 institution, received complaints to investigate. It is a constitutional obligation to then investigate. It is the president's, again, constitutional obligation to receive the report as he has and to make a determination, and he used one of the constitutional possibilities open to him, which is to take it to review. He has then taken. So I don't think we should see it as more of a squabble, because we are reducing our constitution and our democracy to a Selimatunzi stint or to some scoop. It's not some scoop with this one. It is a test and the strength of our democracy and of our constitution. So that is my comment on it, and I am glad that the necessary state apparatus are in effect and are effective, and then we will see that as we have seen a few minutes, a few hours ago, as the Constitutional Court has ruled. So we are hoping that even this between the public protector and the president will also go to the Constitutional Court eventually, and then, or even if to the High Court, because we believe the president will be putting in the review there, and then that a determination is made by our judiciary, and then we take it from there. So I think it is a good thing. It shows that our democracy is alive and it is in fact active.
And then the ruling from the Constitutional Court?
The ruling, I think we must not beat around the bush. It's very damning on the public protector. It's very damning. It uses some very sharp, the court used some very sharp words and some very sharp descriptions. It has declared that the public protector, that the investigation was unlawful, that it was flawed, the whole investigation as a whole. It also goes on to say that the public protector was dishonest in her findings, and she investigated in bad faith. These are very damning. It also speaks and questions really also into other reports and the manner in which the office has assumed its responsibilities. Whether we like it or not, it does speak to issues of competence, because the inability to investigate is a demonstration of incompetence. So we cannot run away from that. And bad faith and honesty are some of the most critical attributes that any leader and any person who occupies that office needs to have. So we are very concerned about the outcome, or at least about the. And unfortunately, I've heard the spokesperson of the public protector, Mr. Opasahwale, saying that they will they will read it, look at it. There's nothing to read and look at. The highest court in the land has declared that report was in fact unlawful and it was dishonest in the manner in which it was done. So we must look at, she has to account. We also believe that the public protector has written to the Speaker of the Parliament suggesting that she be not removed or that Parliament is not necessarily the best instrument for her to account, it's wrong. The Parliament is there to hold her to account, must be accountable to Parliament. So we are hoping that the Speaker will dismiss such a letter of that nature. Parliament must take the necessary action, and it must, of course, the necessary action is to review and look at is she still fit for office, and if she's still fit for office, she will carry on. This is the test, and this is the strength of our democracy.
And then today we know that before the State Capture Commission, is the spotlight is actually on the Estina Dairy Farm. Also going back to obviously the public protector having released a report and all the issues that emanated afterwards. What are you anticipating from today's testimony?
I think we should let the commission unfold and let the people that need to testify. There's a lot that has happened and has been said around the Estina Dairy Farm. We know that the public protector's report then had found that there were no, in fact, certain people were exonerated and all of that. So I think let us allow the commission to do its work. It's still a long way out, and then everyone also who's been implicated, whether they were exonerated or not before, I think they should in fact come in before the commission and account. So we will wait for that one. We will wait for people to give their testimonies. It would be premature to then make a determination now and say what should happen, what is and what is not, at least based on the work of the commission, being which I believe it's in its infancy stage, especially regarding the issue of the Estina Dairy Farm.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and then another student that is joining us, sir, thank you very much also for talking to us. Just your take on what's going on between the public protector and the president.
Okay, as an ordinary South African, I believe that it is a great concern that the highest institution in terms of the Constitution, Chapter 9 institution, can be found to have been dishonest in its investigations. That basically means that we as South Africans will have questions that the public protector, what interest is she serving? Whose interest is she serving as a member, as a legal member of the judiciary? So I believe that whatever that is going on between the two should be resolved by the Parliament. The Parliament should take both the president and the public protector into account. They should account into whatever that is happening between them. Basically, in terms of the public protector investigating the president, I believe that it is our democracy in action. One of the values of our constitution is that no one is above the law, so we should not be surprised when the president is being investigated. But the manner in which the public protector investigates and then the report is set aside by the highest court of the land basically means that we will not have confidence in the office. Yes.
Thank you very much for your time. And then, sir, also thank you very much for talking to us. Just your thoughts on what is happening between the public protector and the president at the moment.
Yesterday the president had a media briefing mentioning that he is going to take this, in fact he is going to allow the court, in fact the law, to take its course. Therefore the public protector, with her investigations, she might have done something that is flawed against the president. So for now, as an ordinary citizen or rather civilian, I would like to say I support the president taking this matter to court, and then the court will decide on the matter.
Thank you very, very much. Those are the students here at the University of the Free State, saying that this is democracy in action, the initial investigation by the public protector and ultimately what will be happening in the courts, as the president has said that he will be taking this under review. But with that, it's back to you, Blaine, in studio.
Palesa Moeti in Bloemfontein, thank you very much indeed for your time.